Alright guys, what is going on? Today I'm going to go over my winter bass fishing setup. So we got 5 rods I'm going to be using this winter for bass fishing. In Wisconsin it hasn't been that cold lately, so it's December 8th I think. Yeah, it's December 8th and we still don't have ice on our lakes. And a lot of the ponds are open still. So let's get into the video where I show you all my rods and the baits I will be throwing this winter. Alright, so the first bait I will be throwing will be the Strike King swim jig. It's a white and blue color. I'm not really sure what the color actually is, but there you guys can see that. It's on my Fenwick Silverhawk 7-foot medium heavy rod with my Shimano Cannon 6:4:1 gear ratio. Got that spooled up with 14-pound fluorocarbon. Now, I like throwing fluorocarbon in the winter because a lot of the weeds die out, and since all the weeds die out, there's not going to be as much coverage, and the water, I think, is going to be a lot clearer. And that's just my opinion, though. You can have your own, but then on the back here, I got a Gambler Bruiser Baits swimmer, super swimmer, and I got that in bulk of a 50-pack, and I cut off maybe a quarter of the front of it, so that I cut off the quarter front of it, so it would just match up evenly with the swim jig. Another thing I did to this swim jig would be I trimmed up the skirt a little bit and I fanned out the weed guard. Now the weed guard, you're not going to need as much because a lot of the vegetation will be dying off during the winter. And if you do have a stiffer weed guard, then your hook penetration and hookup ratio will not be as good because it's going to be stiffer for the bass to actually bite down on the weed guard or on the bait, and then the weed guard will sometimes stop the bass from doing that. My next bait I will be throwing would be a Bruiser Baits craw. I think this is, I'm not really sure what craw this is, but let me take it off and show you what it looks like to you guys. So here's what that craw looks like. I'll put it in my hand for you guys right there. It's a summer craw color. I also got this in a bulk pack of 50. Got that bullet weight pegged. I think this is an 1/8 ounce. I'm not using tungsten because just the only reason is because I'm out of tungsten. You don't want really much of a heavy weight when you're fishing winter, mostly because the bass are going to be a lot more lethargic and they're not going to want to be as aggressive during winter as they would be in fall or spring, say, because they're feeding heavy. But I also have this bullet weight with a bead on it. I have a red glass bead on it, as you guys can see right there. The only reason I have that is to make a little bit more noise and a little bit more flat. I also have this rigged up on a 3/0 EWG hook. I also have this rigged up on a 3/0 EWG hook. And the combo that I'm throwing this, or the setup I'm throwing this on, is a 7-foot medium heavy Bass Pro Carbon Light, Johnny Morris Carbon Light. And we got the Bass Pro Qualifier in the 6:4:1 gear ratio with 12-pound fluorocarbon. The next bait I will be throwing is another swim jig. This is a little bit going to be matching the forage in the color, or in the ponds and lakes I will be fishing. It's another Strike King swim jig. This is in 1/4 ounce. I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the last one, but that blue and white swim jig is also 1/4 ounce. I also have this matched up with a swim bait from Bass Pro. I use it as a trailer. It's got those nice ribs in it, as you guys can tell. I'm not sure if the camera will focus enough for that. But I also did trim up the weed guard. I did it like a much sloppier job, I guess you could say, of trimming up the weed guard on this one. Just so it looks like, I don't know how to explain it. I just thought it looked, I thought it would look good if I made the weed guard look a little bit messier. Throwing this on 30-pound braid. This is my flipping stick. It's a 711 or it's a 7.6 heavy action Bass Pro Carbon Light. This is the older one with my Daiwa Tatula 7:3:1 gear ratio. Like I said, 30-pound braid. I think it's Suffix 832. But yeah, I love this combo. It's got some great power. I also use this for frogging as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this rod. The last rod I will be throwing for my casting setup would be a chatterbait. Now this chatterbait is made by Z-Man. It's not really, I think it's called just a bluegill or brim color. And that's what it looks like. I just kept the stock trailer on there, the one that came with it. The Forktail Elastec white trailer. This one's got the gold blade. I believe this is a 1/2 ounce. Now this, I'm throwing this on the rod and reel I started out with. One of the first ones I started out with. This is a 6.9 Duckett medium heavy. Micro Magic, of course. The reel I got on here is a Quantum Kinetic PT. And I got those reel grips on there that increase your grip, and so if your fingers get wet when you're taking off fish, get more grip when you set the hook, I guess. Spooled up with 15-pound fluorocarbon. Not much to say about this, but this is the bread and butter that I've had since day one. Chatterbait, just so I can get some flash. I'll be slow rolling this along with the swim jigs over dead weeds, because the weeds are going to be gone now. Mostly either they're going to be there or they're going to be dead, brown dead weeds. And I'll just be slow rolling that over that, or I'll just be bouncing it off the bottom if they're really lethargic, or I'll just drag the swim jigs across the bottom. And last thing, I have a spinning rod, my St. Croix Mojo Bass. I don't really have this spooled up yet. I might just throw a weightless fluke on it. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you guys want to see more of these videos, or just even fishing videos in general from me, I want to start uploading more consistently. And what I want you guys to do is comment your favorite winter baits below. I know I've been watching a lot of winter bass fishing videos, and people have been saying they like swim jigs. Some people like go finesse. Some people even like jigging spoons or blade baits. So what I want you guys to do, comment your favorite bait and leave a like. That's all I want from you guys. So if you guys could do that, that'd make my day. See you guys later.